Everyone, welcome once again to this online physics class of standard 9. We had already started with this chapter number 10, gravitation, and in this chapter we have covered topics like what is gravitation, universal law of gravitation, importance of universal law of gravitation, and acceleration due to gravity. We had learned the derivation for acceleration due to gravity, that is small g is equal to gm upon r square, and this acceleration due to gravity, that is small g, does not depend on the mass of the falling object. So in today's session I'll start up with the calculation of this value of small g. Let's learn how to calculate the value of small g, which is considered to be 9.8 meter per second square. Let's now learn to calculate the value of small g. We all know the formula for small g. We have learnt in the previous class, derivation of acceleration due to gravity. So whose formula, that is small g is equal to capital G into m upon r square, and we have learned clearly that this acceleration due to gravity does not depend on the mass of the falling object, that is your small m. So when you substitute the value of capital G, capital M, that is mass of the earth, and r, that is radius of the earth, in this formula, you get the value of small g as 9.8 meter per second square. So value of capital G is 6.7 into 10 raised to minus 11 Newton meter square kg raised to minus 2, and your mass of the earth is 6 into 10 raised to 24, and your radius of the earth is 6.4 into 10 raised to 6. That we will take it as whole square, because according to the formula, small g is capital G into m upon r square. So when you substitute these values and calculate, you will get the value of small g as 9.8 meter per second square. This value should be learned by you by heart. Value of small g on the earth is equal to 9.8 meter per second square, which has to be used in calculations. Okay, now see, we have already learned that the objects, this acceleration due to gravity or your free fall, does not depend on the mass of the falling object. An experiment was conducted by Galileo Galilei to find out whether objects of different masses reach the ground at the same time when it is dropped from a certain height. Yes, but the lighter objects may take time to reach the ground little late because of the air resistance or any other medium providing a hindrance while reaching the ground. An activity is given in your textbook, that is, you have to take a sheet of paper and a stone and you have to drop it from the first floor of a building. You will find that the stone will be reaching the ground faster and the paper will take some time. This is because of the air resistance experienced by the paper. But at the same time, when you drop these two items, that is a paper, a piece of paper and a stone, inside a glass jar from which the air is evacuated, so in that glass jar, there is no medium now, it's only vacuum. At that time, both these objects will reach the bottom surface of the glass jar at the same time. Okay, so Galileo Galilei proved that acceleration due to gravity does not depend on the mass of the falling object. You must have seen these feathers flying here and there before it reaches the earth's surface. This is because of the air resistance experienced by the feather while reaching the ground surface. So objects of any mass will reach the ground at the same rate, provided if there is no interruption while reaching the ground, because these interruptions obstruct the movement of the lighter objects. But actually speaking, this acceleration due to gravity or free fall does not depend on the mass of the falling object. This activity is given in your textbook. Okay, now see, we know that object experiences acceleration during free fall, right, while reaching the ground when it is dropped from a height. This acceleration experienced by the falling object, shown by the object, is independent of its mass. So this means that whether the object may be a solid, it may be hollow, it may be big or small, but it should fall at the same rate, because value of g is constant near the earth. So whenever you are given a sum to calculate pertaining to small g by using equations of motion, in that case, wherever you get this a which shows acceleration, that should be replaced by g. The formula will be written by replacing it with g when you are calculating sums pertaining to acceleration due to gravity or free fall. And when should you consider this acceleration to be positive and when should you consider the acceleration to be negative? You will take the acceleration to be positive when it is in the direction of motion, and the acceleration will be taken to be negative when it opposes the motion. Clear? Next, we are going to learn about mass and weight. All must be thinking mass and weight are the same quantities. No, they are totally different quantities. How? We will learn that in detail in the following slides. Let's now consider the earth. A person standing on the earth's surface, an astronaut for example. The same person is going to moon. Okay, I'll ask you a question now. Will the mass of this person be different? Will the amount of matter in the object be different? My answer would be no. Because mass is the quantity of matter contained in an object. If you are weighing 72 kg on the earth's surface, when you go to moon also, you will be having the same mass, that is 72 kg. So kg is the SI unit for mass. So when we are measuring something in terms of kg, it is nothing but the mass of that object. So mass can be defined as the quantity of matter contained in an object, or in other words, mass of an object is the measure of its inertia. What is inertia? Tendency to resist change. We have learnt about inertia in detail in our previous class, that is in the previous chapter, force and laws of motion. Greater is the mass, greater will be the inertia. So wherever you go, the mass remains unchanged. There won't be any change in the mass, because mass is talking about the quantity of matter contained in an object. When you take a paper, it is made up of so many things. If the same paper is thrown on the surface of moon, the paper will remain as a paper only. Whatever it is made of, the particles, they will remain the same. There won't be any change in their composition. So mass is talking about the quantity of matter contained in an object. So mass will never change. Mass remains unchanged, because mass is the quantity of matter contained in an object. Now what's weight? We will learn that. We have learnt about mass. Mass is the quantity of matter contained in an object. It remains unchanged wherever you go. Now let's talk about weight. I've shown two figures here. One is showing place A and it has gravity of x units. And the other one is place B with gravity 2x units. And I have shown the mass of this person. When he is on place A, it shows 100 kg. So when he is going to place B also, his mass will be 100 kg. But you look at the measurements shown under weight. When he is on place A, his weight is seen as 162.2 newtons. And when the same person goes to place B, where the gravity is twice than that of place A, his weight is seen as 980 Newton. So, what is weight now? From these two figures, you can understand when the gravity is less, the weight shown will also be less. When the gravity is increasing by 2 times, the weight will also increase by 2 times. So now what can you say about weight? Weight is nothing but the measure of the gravitational pull on an object. So what is weight? Measure of gravitational pull on an object, because from these figures itself you can make out when the place is having a gravity of x unit, the weight is seen less, that is equal to 162.2 newtons. When the same person is going to place B, his weight is seen as 980 newtons. Why? The gravity is twice in the place B when compared to place A. So when the gravity is increasing, obviously the weight also changes. So what can you conclude about weight now? Weight is nothing but measure of the gravitational pull on an object. Okay, so what is mass? Mass is the quantity of matter contained in an object, and wherever you go, the mass remains the same. But weight is not like that. Weight depends on the gravitational pull on that object. So when the gravitational pull is more, the weight seen will also be more. When the gravitational pull is felt less, obviously the weight will also be seen less. So weight changes from place to place depending on the gravitational pull existing on that surface. Clear to you? So we can derive the formula for weight by using your Newton's second law of motion. We have all learned the three laws of Newton, and in the second law of motion we have learned that formula for forces, mass into acceleration. So when you replace the quantity A by G, you're talking about F is equal to mng. When we are considering this F as the gravitational force, we will replace that F by W, which is nothing but your weight. So what is weight? Weight is the product of mass and acceleration due to gravity. So what will be the unit for weight? Whatever is the unit for force, that will be your unit for weight also, because weight depends on the gravitational force. So gravitational force is also a kind of force. So when you are talking weight, it is nothing but the gravitational pull of an object, which is also a kind of force. So whatever is the unit for force, that will be used as your unit for weight also. So have you all understood now? Mass and weight are two different quantities. Mass remains unchanged. Mass is the quantity of matter contained in an object. Its SI unit is kilogram. Weight is dependent on the gravitational pull on that particular surface. As the gravitational pull increases, the weight will also increase. Weight keeps changing when you go from one place to another place depending on the gravitational pull of that particular place, and its unit is Newton. Okay, so if you are asked to distinguish between mass and weight, you will be able to write now. So when you are talking about mass, when the things is related to kg, it is talking about the quantity of matter contained in that object. It will never change. Wherever you go, your body mass remains the same. So the mass remains unchanged. Weight will differ depending on the gravitational pull over that particular place. So with this I am concluding this part. Actually speaking, with this the lesson also gets over. Whatever you have later in this chapter, like your upthrust, pressure, density, Archimedes principle, relative density, those are all skipped. It's all omitted by your board itself. So see, there is one more topic. How about your acceleration due to gravity on different portion of the earth, like on the surface of the earth, above the surface of the earth, below the surface of the earth? That's actually not given in detail in your book. In my next session I'll take that in detail, which is very, very important. Okay, so we'll meet you in the next session. Until then, you keep studying. Have a good day. Bye. Take care.